Why, hello there! And welcome back to our Harmony Only Challenge. Today, we have a special episode in store for you all, because not only do we have a brand new Harmoneer after what seems like an eternity, in the form of the highly anticipated Sunday, but we will be blowing a massive 3,000 star rail fuel in order to build him up in this episode, in order to see if Sunday can stand shoulder to shoulder with his sister Robin as a blessing for the account, or whether his anti-harmony gameplay will end up being more of a curse rather than a boon compared to Sister Dearest. But before we get into the summons for this episode, if you do end up enjoying what you see, please consider giving us a like, commenting on the video, or even subscribing to the channel. It would truly mean the world to us, and it would be a pleasure to have you aboard. But without further ado, let's get into the episode and see if Sunday can become the best day. So while we were getting ready to summon for Sunday, we remembered that as part of the 2.7 version of the game, we not only got our daily login event for some extra wishes, but also claimed an extra 10 pull from our mailbox for both the joystick awards as well as the maintenance compensation rewards. But on top of that, the developers being as awesome as they also gave the player base a free standard 5-star character, which of course we naturally redeemed, Bronya bringing her Eidolon up to E2. And so, after being blessed by the ever so lovely Tingyan and her trusty Foxian Blessing, it was finally time to get into the summons in order to see if we can secure ourselves Sunday. So Maestro music, please. Well, although we lost our 50/50ths to Himeko for the first time in a long time, ever since Sparkle joined the account, we did manage to bring home Sunday, and at a rather fantastic 40 pity no less, so we can't really grumble too much, right? But of course, if you've watched our previous summons, you know we can't just end the summons there, because now much like with Ru and Mai, Sparkle and Robin before him, It is now time to try for Sunday's Lightcone, which could prove to be a truly terrible decision given how our summons for Sunday went. But hey, we like bad decisions, so let's do it anyway.
That's a spicy meatball!
Here comes the money.
Here we go, money talk.
Here comes the money.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. In a rather amazing stroke of luck, we actually managed to get Sunday's Lightcone alongside a rather spicy Lightcone for a crit damage-focused Harmony team. But just because we have Sunday's Lightcone doesn't mean that our work here is done. No, as a matter of fact, it has only just begun. Because now it is time that we max out our newest Harmoneer, which means bringing him and his Lightcone to level 80. Maxing out his talents as far as we can get them, as well as getting him some relics to use. And can you guess who didn't have the foresight to pre-farm any of these required materials? That's right, this guy. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So as we get into the character building for Sunday, we first pay a visit to the ever-so-lovely Tingyan, because thanks to the summons for Sunday, we finally managed to acquire the last 2 Eidolons required in order to fully max her out, which grants us a 2-level boost to her skill and talent, as well as allowing her ultimate to regenerate a further 10 energy, taking the grand total to rather juicy 60 energy. But it doesn't end there. You see, thanks to the free Bronya that we received during this patch, we also activate Bronya's Eidolon to making it so when she activates her skill on an ally. That ally will then receive a 30% speed boost for 1 turn, which will prove rather useful in the future, especially during game modes, such as Memory of Chaos or Pure Fiction. And so, having given our girls a rather substantial power boost in the form of their new Eidolons, we focus our attention on our newest Harmoneer Sunday, starting off with his character level and Ascension. And all we can say in this portion is, thank goodness, we grinded experience materials non-stop in the early days of the account, because we had a very healthy surplus of materials to use as a result. And the only material that stopped us in our tracks was Sunday's Ascension material. And so, with our goal set, it was time to grind using a good old-fashioned montage segment. So cue the music. So having finally completed Sunday's character level, we then decided to then level up his light cone. Little did we know at the time was that in leveling this light cone was the start of a 4+ hour endeavor, one of which left us mentally exhausted afterwards. So after some strategic trading via the Stardust exchange, as well as 18 runs through the Panakani talent domain, we finally managed to max out Sunday's light cone. Now you're probably wondering why we said that this portion left us mentally fatigued. Well, you see, Sunday's light cone isn't the only part of his kit that requires these talent materials. As the name suggests, his talents require the exact same material, and unlike his light cone, Sunday's talents require a much greater amount of materials to level up due to the fact there are multiple levels to each talent, which not only go up in rarity, but also amount each level. And it was here where the fatigue kicked in, because all we did during these runs was zone out while our Harmoneers were farming on autoplay. But due to the magic that is editing, we can spare you all from the multi-hour endeavor that was us farming, and instead turn it into a little montage for your viewing pleasure, so enjoy.
Never be charity. The enemy you're fighting covers all society. Damn right, mommy's not here, gonna fight all night. Right here, shadow 10 o'clock direction. Seize the moment, destroy the nation. You run slow motion, give me motivation. Breathe out now, and then on your rival. Round up around, spit out, all over. Rhyme like a rolling stone, come in the crowd. Watch out the moon, they diss you loud. Guess what this sound, and bombs whole ground. Surround up, don't ease your pace, cause enemies brutal. Home of the truth, there ain't no truth. You're the only one world, one love. But the battle goes on, shadows all mass destruction.
Oh yeah, down, baby, baby, down. Oh yeah, down, baby, baby, down. Oh yeah, down, baby, baby, down. Oh yeah, down.
Kangaroos now face reality, never be charity. The enemy you're fighting covers all society. Damn right, mommy's not here, gonna fight all night. Right here, shadow 10 o'clock direction. Seize the moment, destroy the nation. You rhyme slow motion, give me motivation. Breathe out now, and then I'm a rival. Round up around, spit out, all over. Rhyme like a rolling stone, come in the crowd. Watch out the moon, they diss too loud. This was this sound, and bombs hold round. Surround up, don't ease your pace, cause enemies brutal. Home of the truth, there ain't no truth. You're the only one world, one law. But the battle goes on, shadows all mass destruction.
Please, excuse me for a moment, everybody, and we shall get this episode back on track. Let me see. Now, where did Kalis put the emergency measure? Aha, there it is. It is quite an unorthodox method, to be sure, but as long as it works to resolve this scenario, it doesn't matter, I suppose. So, in the name of Zype of the Harmony, I Sunday command you to rise from your slumber. You shall rise.
What the? Oh, sorry about that, folks. We must have nodded off for a moment there. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. So having spent the past 4+ hours in the Penkani talent domain, we were finally able to take Sunday's talents to level 7, as well as unlocking all his passive nodes, which means we only have one last thing we need to take care of in this building session. And that, our friends, is getting Sunday some shiny new relics to wear, so let's get to it.
What the heck?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. After blowing through the remaining fuel that we had left for the challenge, we managed to get, and we use the following term lightly, usable, relic pieces for Sunday. And if you're wondering how well they actually rolled once we leveled them up, well, wonder no longer, as here is the results of those rolls. Starting off with his headpiece, which was the piece we had the most hope in, ended up giving us rather mixed emotions, as while it did roll once into speed, it totally missed the critical damage substat that we were hoping for. Now, as we move on to Sunday's gloves, out of all the farming we did, these ended up being the only usable ones due to their innate defense. Yeah, we know we're in denial with this piece. Just let us have this one, would you? Anywho, upon maxing it out, we do manage to roll once into defense, which is good, right? You know what, let's just move on, shall we? Now, getting into Sunday's chest piece, we did manage to get a crit damage chest with defense and speed, which is a pretty solid get compared to the previous two relics. Unfortunately, that fortune didn't continue during the leveling process, instead rolling twice into attack and gaining break effect as its fourth substat, which is less than ideal to say the very least. Which leads us to Sunday's boots, which are rather terrible. Being a attack percent main stat, they do not work on Sunday at all. But given as they are all we have, we decided to max them out anyway. Only to be granted a rather surprising 2 rolls into our critical damage, taking it to a rather sold 19%, which isn't great on an attack boot, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? And finally, we have our energy regeneration rope that we got from the Divergent universe, which actually turned out pretty well, even though it doesn't have critical damage on it. And while it turned out to be rubbish, it did however grant us 2 rolls into the effect resistance stats, granting us a respectable 15% resistance, which is rather handy. However, it was at this point that we took an honest look at our relics and came to the realization that they suck, and that we need some serious upgrades. So in that pursuit, on top of realizing Sunday still needs an orb for his build, we ended up scrapping all the relics that were of no use to us in our inventory. And then paid a visit to the synthesis menu, where we went ahead and forged 7 orbs in the hopes of getting one for Sunday, which upon checking the final orb of the batch, we managed to get an imaginary orb with less than ideal substats, but much like the other pieces of Sunday's build, we made do with it. And honestly, we are really glad we did, as upon maxing out its level, we managed to not only gain a critical damage substat, but also rolls into it, bringing it up to a respectable 19% critical damage boost. And so, with that little stroke of luck, we went ahead and used one of our 3 self-modeling resins in order to craft Sunday some speed boots in order to activate his Fleet of the Ageless set. Unfortunately, when it came to leveling it up, most of our substat rolls went on to rather useless substats such as attack and flat HP. And not feeling enticed to burn through another self-modeling resin, we decided to call it there and finally take our Newest Harmoneer out for a test run.
Your respect, I just slaughter. Don't be bothered. Watch where you step, it might be hot water. You oughta pay me now, cause right now it's about to go down. You gotta get paid. More cash out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now. Ain't that funny? You gotta get paid. More cash out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now. Ain't that funny? Jack, he's a psychomaniac. That's right, it's Defo Sight. It don't matter who's wrong or right. I just might catch you slipping. Getting paid is my intuition and my ambition. It's the city of the siege. More death, more cheese. Gotta get the paper. Be Jamaica. And these boss, I'm the undertaker. And ain't no shortage. I can't be laid off. disrupting chaos. You gotta get paid.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. And even though we only showed the one encounter mainly due to the fact that it was the most entertaining one we did actually try out various Harmony teams using Sunday in various other battles. These teams were composed of Sunday, Bronya, Sparkle, and Yukong, which was probably his best one. It was both effective and also resource positive thanks to Sparkle, but also had plenty of critical rate and damage buffs to boost the team, making them a rather solid pairing when teamed up with each other. We also tried Sunday, Hanya, Bronya, and Yukong, and it didn't feel as good to play as Team 1, and it oftentimes felt quite clunky to use in combat. And for the final team, we tried Sunday, Tingyan. Bronya and Yukong, which synergize in certain aspects such as Tingyan being able to charge Sunday's ultimate, who could then use their ultimate on either Bronya or Yukong. However, in the end, it just didn't feel as good to play as Team 1 did. So with all said and done, what is our final verdict on Sunday? Is he a mandatory unit for this type of challenge? Honestly, we can't in good faith recommend Sunday for this challenge. While his buffs are good, they are very specific, and on top of that, the anti-harmony aspect to his skill is kind of a bummer if truth be told. Now, that is not to say Sunday isn't a really good support for normal accounts. In fact, when paired with Jing Yuan and Topaz, Sunday really pops off something fierce. But hey, maybe it's just a skill issue on our part, and we're missing a crucial part to his kit, but that's something we'll research another time. But before we head on off, we would just like to talk to you about something. You see, as of uploading this video, it is officially Christmas Day, and we would just like to take the chance to wish everybody all the best both within the holiday season, whether you celebrate it or not, and the coming new year. And we can't thank you all enough for the support on the channel this year, and you can definitely look forward to quite a few new unique challenges and builds to come in the new year. So for the final time this year, we ask that you all take care. Stay safe and have a happy new year.